Vandals have caused £1,500 worth of damage after targeting a park regularly used by autistic and sensory impaired children. Memorial silk trees planted within the sensory garden at Friary Park in Barnet were snapped at their trunks and branches left lying across pathways. The garden was designed and built 5 years ago to provide people with disabilities a clean, green and safe open space to enjoy. Earlier this year, the parks, one of 7 spaces in the borough, awarded green flag status for its welcoming appearance and atmosphere. Richard Tester and Carl Rugg are both members of the Friends of Friary Park. The Friends are a voluntary group of residents who work closely with the council in maintaining the park's character. They're disappointed to see a lot of people's hard work undone overnight.
Well, when I saw the broken trees, I thought it is very sad, because I know that a lot of work's gone into preparing this garden and planning it. It also gives a poor impression of youth in general to the local community, when in actual fact it's only a small number who are responsible for doing this sort of thing. Bearing in mind how much work and effort and time that the park staff and volunteers put into maintaining the park, it's sad that just a very, very small number of people commit these acts of vandalism.
Cabinet Member for Environment and Transport, Councillor Andrew Harper, gave his reaction to the broken trees.
Well, I must say it was a mixture of dismay and disgust, because as you can see, this is a lovely park and a lovely garden, and the thought that somebody might feel it okay to come and damage these trees and spoil this garden is just horrifying, and I'm sure the vast majority of residents would feel that disgust as well. Knowing what I do about the users of this particular area, some of the autistic children, other children are disadvantaged, disabled and so on and so forth, I think they'd find it very hard to understand how it could be that there was damage in here in something that they've been accustomed to seeing looking nice and attractive and that they've enjoyed. I think they just find that very hard to understand, and it's a great shame that they should have to try to understand.
With each tree costing up to £300, the council planned to replace the damaged trees and install protection to prevent any further vandalism occurring.
Well, a little bit later on this year we'll have the planting season, so around about the end of October, November, and what we're going to do is replace the damaged trees, put some new ones in with adequate protection, and that's going to cost, I think, somewhere in the region of £1,500 to do that. So it's a pity we're having to spend that money to put right something that we'd already got in place, but nevertheless we will do it to preserve this garden as people want it to be.
But it's not just users of the park the damage has impacted. Antonio, the park's full-time keeper, can't understand why the garden was targeted.
Well, it's heartbreaking to, to find it. When I found it in the morning, I just couldn't believe it. But it doesn't happen often. But when it happens, it's devastating, really. Because it's not the money that it costs, it's the trees are, how you say, they are healthy because they've been planted for quite a while now, and they've been destroyed. In fact, people, after I found the trees, people are coming to me to say, look what they've done. And obviously they find it disgusting, really.
With replanting due to take place over the coming weeks, it won't be long before the park is restored back to its former glory.